In a bustling city, where the glitter of the skyscrapers reflected the ambition of its inhabitants, there lived an incredibly prosperous businessman named Leonardo. Known for his business acumen and his multi-million-dollar fortune, Leonardo seemed to have everything anyone could want. However, in his heart, there was a void that he could not fill. He felt constantly pressured by his family's expectations and the need to keep up appearances in high society. Leonardo was about to participate in a crucial event for his business, a gala dinner where important investors and partners would be present. He knew that appearing alone could raise speculation and weaken his image. In an act of desperation, he decided to hire someone to pretend to be his fiancée. It was then that he met Clara. Clara was a humble woman who worked multiple jobs to support her family. She was smart, witty, and most of all, authentic. When Leonardo approached her with his proposal, Clara hesitated, but the financial offer was something she could not refuse. With that, the deal was closed. Leonardo invested time and resources to prepare Clara for the event. He hired stylists, hairdressers, and even an etiquette coach to transform Clara into a tycoon's perfect bride. Clara adapted quickly, but always maintained her essence, which intrigued Leonardo. The night of the dinner arrived, and Clara looked stunning. They entered the elegant hall together, where lights twinkled like stars and soft music filled the air. All eyes turned to the couple. Leonardo felt a strange pride at his side, but also a slight apprehension about how the night would unfold. During dinner, Clara began to interact with the guests. She was natural, talking to everyone as equals, sharing stories of her life with a sincerity that was not often seen in that circle. Clara's authenticity captivated everyone. His laugh was infectious, and his stories, although simple, were full of wisdom. One of the investors, Mr. Rodriguez, a man known for his skepticism, asked Clara how she and Leonardo met. Clara, without losing her composure, replied with a smile, "It was a wonderful coincidence. We met in a small cafe. I was knocking everything down, and he, with his kindness, came to help me. I think it was love at first mess." Everyone around laughed, and Leonardo, even though surprised by Clara's spontaneity, couldn't help but smile too. He began to notice something he had never noticed before. Clara was filling the void he had felt for so long. As the night progressed, Leonardo and Clara found themselves on a balcony, away from the noise and lights. He looked at her with a mixture of gratitude and curiosity. "You were incredible in there. I didn't expect it to be like this," Leonardo confessed. Clara smiled gently, her eyes shining in the starlight. "I was just myself, Leonardo. Sometimes the truth is all people need." Leonardo felt a wave of emotions. He realized that perhaps he had been living a lie for too long, trapped in a world where appearances were worth more than the truth. After that night, Leonardo started spending more time with Clara, outside of the agreement. They shared stories, laughed together, and little by little, their very different worlds began to intertwine. Clara introduced Leonardo to a side of life he had never experienced: simplicity, joy in small things, and the authenticity of human connections. Leonardo began to question his choices and values. He realized that his relentless pursuit of financial success had left aside what really mattered. Inspired by Clara, he began to make changes in his company, focusing more on sustainability and social responsibility. Of course, this transformation was not easy. Leonardo faced resistance from colleagues and even his family. They didn't understand why he was changing his priorities. But Clara was always by his side, supporting him and reminding him of what really mattered. At a particularly difficult time, when an important project was at risk due to Leonardo's new approach, he and Clara were talking by a peaceful lake, where the waters reflected the starry sky. Clara, seeing the concern in Leonardo's eyes, tried to comfort him. "Leonardo, real changes are never easy. But remember why you are doing this. You are creating something that not only benefits you, but also the society around you. This has immense value." Leonardo held Clara's hand firmly, feeling the warmth and security she conveyed. For the first time in years, he felt like he was on the right path. Even though it was difficult, he knew he wasn't alone. The months passed, and the changes in Leonardo's company began to bear fruit. His new approach attracted a different type of investor, those who valued social responsibility and sustainability as much as profit. The company's image improved and, consequently, its business flourished in a more ethical and sustainable way. But Leonardo's transformation didn't stop there. Inspired by Clara, he began to get more involved in the local community, supporting social projects and volunteering for causes that really mattered. He even created a foundation to help people in situations similar to Clara's, promoting education and employment opportunities. Meanwhile, the relationship between Leonardo and Clara blossomed in a natural and profound way. What started as a cold contract turned into a lifelong partnership filled with love and mutual respect. They shared dreams and built a future together based on values they both valued. One day, at a picnic in the countryside, Leonardo, now a changed man and more connected with his emotions, looked deeply into Clara's eyes. He knew he didn't need to pretend anything to anyone anymore. With a sincere smile, he said, "Clara, what started as a lie became the most beautiful truth of my life. I can't imagine my future without you. Do you want to marry me for real?" Clara, with tears of happiness in her eyes, replied, "Yes, Leonardo, I want." Leonardo and Clara's wedding was an intimate celebration, surrounded by friends and family who truly mattered. It was not an ostentatious event with pomp and circumstance, but a ceremony full of love and sincerity. Every detail reflected the journey the two had traveled together. During the reception, Leonardo gave an emotional speech, thanking everyone for being present in their lives, and especially Clara for transforming his view of the world and showing the true meaning of happiness. "I learned that true success is not in how much you accumulate, but in how much you can share and the positive impact you can bring to people's lives. Clara taught me this, and for that, I will be forever grateful." Guests applauded enthusiastically, recognizing that they were witnessing not just the union of two people, but the complete transformation of a man who found his true purpose. Leonardo and Clara began their new life together, not in a luxurious palace, but in a cozy house that reflected their love and their new priorities. They continued to work together on projects that benefited the community, always maintaining the authenticity and simplicity that Clara had brought to Leonardo's life. They traveled, explored different cultures, and shared their experiences on a blog, inspiring others to seek the true meaning of success and happiness. The story of Leonardo and Clara spread, touching many hearts and showing that, no matter how distant the worlds that separate us, authenticity and true love can build unbreakable bridges. What started as a simple business arrangement turned into a journey of self-discovery, love, and transformation. Leonardo and Clara showed that, even in a world obsessed with appearances, truth and authenticity will always find a way to shine. And so, together, they lived a full and meaningful life, inspiring many others to follow their hearts and seek true happiness. As Leonardo and Clara navigated their new life together, they met many individuals who contributed to their growth as a couple and as people. One of these individuals was Marcos, a young idealist who worked at the foundation that Leonardo had created. Marcos had an unparalleled passion for helping others. He was a living example of how generosity and dedication can change lives. Coming from a difficult childhood, he took every opportunity to give back. His energy and enthusiasm were contagious, and he soon became a close friend of Leonardo and Clara. One of the foundation's first major projects was the creation of a community center in a deprived neighborhood. The center offered vocational courses, psychological support, and cultural activities for young people and adults. Leonardo, Clara and Marcos were deeply involved in every step of the process, from the initial conception to the inauguration. During a visit to the community center, Clara met Maria, a single mother who was struggling to support her two children. Clara saw herself reflected in Maria and committed herself to helping the family find stability. She began spending time with Maria, helping her with her children and encouraging her to attend courses offered by the center. Meanwhile, Leonardo faced new challenges in his business. The shift to a more ethical and sustainable approach was not an easy path. Many of his former business partners did not support his new policies, and he had to fight to keep the company afloat. However, with Clara and Marcos by his side, he found the strength to continue. On a particularly difficult night, after a frustrating meeting, Leonardo and Clara talked at length about their dreams and fears. Clara, always the voice of reason and hope, said, "Leonardo, you are making a difference. Don't let the resistance of others discourage you. Remember all the people we are helping." Leonardo, holding Clara's hand, felt a renewal of purpose. The foundation continued to grow, and with that came the need for more resources. Marcos, with his unwavering determination, began organizing fundraising events. One of these events was a charity auction, held in an old warehouse transformed into an elegant and welcoming space. During the event, Clara gave an emotional speech, sharing her own journey and how the foundation was changing lives. There were tears in the eyes of those present, and donations flowed generously. Leonardo watched with pride, realizing how Clara had become a central and inspiring figure in his life and the foundation. Clara's connection with Maria and other families she met through the foundation inspired her to create a mentoring program for women in difficult situations. She wanted every woman to have the chance to find her own voice and independence, just as she had. In one of the mentoring sessions, Clara met Anna, a talented young woman with a dream of opening her own confectionery business. Clara helped Anna develop a business plan and find the resources she needed to get started. Seeing Anna grow and prosper was one of Clara's greatest joys. As the foundation prospered, Leonardo's past began to resonate in unexpected ways. He reconnected with an old childhood friend, Ricardo, who was now experiencing financial difficulties. Ricardo had been one of the few people who believed in Leonardo before his success in business. Leonardo, remembering their friendship and the difficult times they spent together, made a point of helping Ricardo get back on his feet. He offered a job at the foundation and helped Ricardo's family find stability. This reunion only reinforced Leonardo's belief in the power of human connections and the importance of giving back. Along this journey, Leonardo also began to rebuild his relationship with his own family. Initially skeptical about his new priorities, his parents and siblings began to see the positive impact he was making. At a family dinner, Leonardo shared his experiences and the challenges he had faced. "I know you had doubts about my move, but I hope you see that I'm trying to do something meaningful. I want our family to be remembered not only for its wealth, but for its legacy of kindness and social responsibility." His emotional parents began to support him in ways he never imagined.